Welcome to the second episode of Two Gold Diggers. I'm Sonia Brown.
And I'm Lamika Weeks. And in this episode, we're talking about your circle of influence. And do you have the right or the wrong people in the front row of your life?
We've all heard the phrase that birds of a feather flock together. Well, nothing could be more true when it comes to setting and accomplishing your goals. Are you soaring with the eagles or are you on the ground with the chickens?
Right. And you know immediately which one you're flying with or which one you're on the ground with. Sonia and I met about 7 years ago, and we were immediately drawn to each other. I don't know if that's because tall girls automatically connect,
Right.
or it's just in general that we both were go-getters, and just immediately after talking to each other, we knew that we wanted to, share ideas with each other and work together. And so we've been doing that for the last 7 years.
Right. And it has been an absolute pleasure. That brings us to our next point with that circle of influence. You want to make sure that those people sitting on the front row of your life are adding to and not always subtracting from. Likewise, you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing as well.
Right.
Be that person who adds value to another person's life, and you will get that in return. We want to make sure that those people that we're surrounding ourselves with and those people within our circle are making deposits into what it is that we're trying to accomplish and not always making those withdrawals.
Right. Absolutely. And like Sonia said, the biggest part is you're evaluating your front row, but you're also evaluating yourself.
Right.
Because a lot of times what we're receiving is what we're giving. And so you just want to be sure that you're giving what it is that you want to receive in return.
Right.
And a lot of times it doesn't also mean that, Sonia hasn't always given me the yes answer that I want. You want someone who can also give you critical feedback, but you know that it's coming from a place that can help you, reach further and stretch beyond,
Sure.
where you are.
Sure. So what we'd like to also ask you to do is take that inventory. I do it on an as-needed basis.
Right.
If I find myself in a situation or a relationship and I find that it's just always negative and always draining, then I like to say that I have the gift of goodbye, and I can love that person from a distance. I won't exclude them from my life completely, but I will remove them from the front row. And if they should happen to call every now and then yeah, sure, what do you need? But I don't necessarily consider that person to be within my circle of influence anymore. That's different.
Right. Well, and Sonia does it on an as-needed basis. I do it on an as-needed basis as well, but I really take stock of it seasonally, just because when the seasons change, it just makes it so much easier to evaluate, anything. And so, figure out what works best for you. You're always looking at, who's in your life, but when you want to take a deep look at it, I do mine seasonally. You just have to figure out what works for you.
Sure. So figure out what works for you and then go with it. And until we see you again, we want to make sure that you imagine, plan, and get ready to achieve those 2014 and beyond goals. Until then, bye-bye.
Peace.